Hello and welcome to National Focus for Monday, July 8, 2024. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, government invests $400,000 in agriculture extension. Ministry of Agriculture to present a draft food security crisis preparedness plan. And Dominica Association of Teachers hosts annual Teachers Summer Institute. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
Ride safe, wear a helmet, safer roads in the nature aisle. This message was brought to you by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Welcome back. Government continues to invest in the agriculture sector in its bid to enable the sector to contribute $700 million to the country's GDP by 2030. Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Irving McIntyre, handed over 3 vehicles costing $400,000 to the Agriculture Minister, Honorable Roland Royer, today. Government contracted the loan from the World Bank with plans to assign the vehicles to the different agriculture regions to strengthen outreach and extension services.
When we had our first meeting with the extension officers, when I was assigned to the Ministry of Agriculture, extension mobility was one of the main concerns expressed at that meeting, along with the appointment of officers. Today being the 8th of July, 2024, just a year over that we have in that meeting, we were able to deliver at least on 2 of these promises that were made at that meeting at that time. One being the procurement of vehicles, which cost around 400,000 EC dollars. That was funded through one of our World Bank program under the third component, right? And I must say that component is a loan.
Government saw it fit to make that investment in agriculture extension as food security remains a top priority.
An extension is the main conduit and the main champions being ensuring that our farmers produce the quality of produce that we need. First, for national food security, and of course, for markets as we look at increasing our contribution to GDP. As a former extensionist myself, I know the importance of having a vehicle. Some may say that extension officers get mileage. Yes, some of them do qualify for mileage, but the amount of mileage they get per month is not sufficient to run an entire district. I've been in it, I've done it, so I know the constraints that they're facing.
The Honourable Minister made a point of urging those responsible to ensure proper maintenance of the vehicles, especially during challenging economic times. Efficient extension services can also provide an accurate assessment of the country's agriculture sector.
I must say it's a good day today, not just for the Extension Department of the Ministry of Agriculture, but the entire government and the country on a whole. Because if you ask me about money well spent, this is definitely money well spent, as the Minister said. As you know, we would love agriculture to contribute 700 million of the GDP by 2030. And besides agriculture, there are other productive sectors that have to be part of the whole economic agenda that we have for the country. But agriculture is just one of them, and this is just one of the things as part of the puzzle, just a little piece part of the puzzle, which is the vehicles for the extension staff.
The Honourable Minister believes it's a timely investment in extension and for agriculture as a whole.
Obviously, let alone the productivity part and the economics of it all is a matter of our food security as well. So there are many different areas that we are dealing with by just these simple vehicles that you're saying. So it's really not just, you cannot just see it as an isolated thing of us getting vehicles, but it's the extension part attached to it and the whole bigger picture of what agriculture is going to, the whole impact is going to have on the agricultural sector and the country in a whole. So I think it's a really great day for us. As the Minister did said, we have to cherish these vehicles, we have to take care of these vehicles in these times of limited resources. But I think if we use them well, we can definitely experience the shared prosperity that we want to get from agriculture in Dominica.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, in collaboration with the World Bank, are hosting a two-day workshop for the preparation of the draft Food Security Crisis Preparedness Plan for Dominica. The World Bank team tasked with the responsibility of preparing the Food Security Crisis Preparedness Plan, FSCPP, for Dominica is currently on island on its second mission, which is a follow-up to a visit in April. During the first mission, the World Bank team interacted with selected stakeholders to begin the process of information gathering, coalition analysis, which was followed by a two-day workshop to prepare a draft of the Dominica FSCPP.
It is a prerequisite for countries accessing funds from World Bank, specifically related to the CIRC. CIRC is a project of financing facility that our local PIU or project management unit tapped into, and we must do that part for us to get the financing. And since we have already started the process, it's only natural that we complete the Food Security Crisis Management Plan.
This plan is important to Dominica as a small island, as it can be easily affected by global crises such as pandemics, hurricanes, and wars.
We have to ensure that if any of those triggers happen or if any of those things happen, we have an idea as to what to do, who to do what, how the process is supposed to go, and how to deliver to make sure our people they have food, healthy food, and have access to food. So this is what we are having today, the presentation of the draft, so we can get reviews and comments for the final document.
Senior agriculture economist at the World Bank, Ms. Eva Hasina, says the plan will focus on two main areas.
The plan basically aims at two big areas, helping Dominica to define food and nutrition security, define indicators and thresholds on how to measure when a potential crisis hits, as well as the operating system on how this information is collected and passed on to senior government level officials.
The aim is to help Dominica prepare to respond to these crises in advance.
The plan aims at helping Dominica to define or find, like in advance, find that there is potentially a food security crisis emerging. And it potentially helps Dominica in responding in advance, earlier than usual to those crises, by potentially then going to the donor community and say that there is something potentially going wrong in Dominica. Additional funding is needed to respond to this crisis ahead of time.
The World Bank seeks to support countries like Dominica in their disaster preparedness and responsibilities.
When a crisis already hits, there are a lot of challenges that those countries face, and we would like to support those countries to see and understand that a crisis is potentially arising, and on our side, mobilize the funding and respond ahead of time. So it's a very important exercise. We think that can help a lot of countries with those emerging crises that can be very, of different kind, right? Could be potential food prices going up, but could also be a hurricane that hits the country, or a disaster in terms of like a potential disease breaking out that affects food supply in the country.
The Food Security Crisis Preparedness Plan explains how crisis risks are actively identified and monitored in a country, and the details step-by-step protocols for scaling up early action across government, humanitarian and development partners to prevent and mitigate future food security and nutrition crises. You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. The Dominica Association of Teachers, DAT, in collaboration with the Canadian Teachers Federation, has kicked off their annual Teachers Summer Institute. The 2-week workshop will aid in the professional development of teachers as they participate in various classes.
The courses offered this year are in keeping with the dynamic changes and advancement in education globally. We will be exposed to and fed with knowledge and content in classroom management, measurement and evaluation with online assessment, digital literacy and artificial intelligence, and music and theatre arts.
Canadian team leader Ms. Lena Lees hopes the workshop can prove to be a source of development for all participants.
This program, Project Overseas, is based on the principles of partnership and solidarity. And at this moment, 14 Project Overseas teams have already arrived or are en route to 11 different countries around the world. We're not sent out from Canada to work for you or to deliver to you, but to work alongside co-tutors from your union and in collaboration with all of you to hopefully share an experience which will be valuable to all of us, both personally and professionally.
Acting Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise thanked the teachers who are participating in the workshop.
You had a remarkable year, a very long academic year. School officially closed on Friday, but notwithstanding you are here this morning, although the ministry, we know that 2 weeks after the closure of school is dedicated to professional development, but nonetheless you are here. And we are happy that you are here because it shows that you have committed yourself to professional growth, to development of your craft knowledge, and to continuous service within the education system.
The Ministry of Education will continue to support workshops like these as they understand the importance of professional development in this evolving world.
Even before the advent of AI, you know that our students are internet creatures. They were born in the internet age and they have more access, more consistent access to the internet than even our teachers. It means, therefore, that the traditional role of a teacher as a dispenser of knowledge is obsolete. It has been obsolete for the past 2 decades, I must say. And the teacher's role now is to facilitate knowledge acquisition, to guide classroom learning, as opposed to be custodian of knowledge.
The Division of Culture has officially sashed the contestants for the 2024 Miss Wop Duet Pageant. This marks an exciting milestone in the preparations for Dominica's 46th independence celebrations. The sashing ceremony took place on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, where 7 contestants were presented to the public for the first time as part of the emancipation activities. The Afro-artistic extravaganza was a treat for the senses, setting the tone for an unforgettable celebration. Let's meet the contestants. Contestant number 1, Ciara Andrew, representing Monrachet.
Every life experience for me is a stepping stone as I aspire to become an environmental specialist focused on Dominica's environmental and cultural preservation.
Contestant number 2, Estacia Laville, representing Warner.
Representing the village of Warner, the sweet potato basket of our island. I am 18-year-old Estacia Laville.
Contestant number 3, Jacilia Jacob, representing Paybush. Contestant number 4, Heidi Ellick, representing Grand Bay.
From the heart of culture, I am 23-year-old Heidi Ellick, representing the village of Grand Bay. I hope to see you at the Miss Wop Duet Pageant. Let's make it a date and see you there.
Contestant number 5, Bianca Thomas, representing Massac.
Embarking on this incredible journey, I am filled with excitement and gratitude to share the essence of my beloved community. Massac is a place where the sun dances over the fishing coast with hope and where every sunset whispers stories of resilience.
Contestant number 6, Treasure Anthony, representing Canefield.
I am a 21-year-old Miss Treasure Anthony, a lover for arts
and hope to become a dance instructor one day.
Contestant number 7, Zoraida Lewis, representing Soufriere.
The sweet songs of the steel pan and the beat of the drum is sure to keep me swaying. It is no surprise I enjoy dancing in my leisure time as well. Dominica is culture. Culture is Dominica. One cannot go without the other.
The show will be held at the Massac Indoor Facility on October 23 from 8 p.m. Coming up next, the Creole News Highlights with General Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en Creole, non, monsieur General Jacob. Ministre Éducation, Association Teacher Dominique et puis un groupe Canada qui tient un training pour Teacher Dominique. Il commence aujourd'hui en l'école Convent. Nous parlons et puis Julian Lloyd Benjamin de l'association Teacher Dominique.
Pour 2 semaines, nous avons un workshop pour teacher, tout teacher qui sont venus à dans pays pour nous ça nous trainement bayo avec nous avons 4 différents courses nous y en a comment pour manager classe comment pour digital literacy avec AI yo ni avec musique avec théâtre avec yon other mathématiques avec comment pour servir computer ordinateur. Comme ça, nous avons 3 du monde Canada qui ont assisté nous avec le programme ça, avec ils ont assisté nous avec différents projets tous les années. Avec le projet ça, c'est un projet où là nous en collaboration avec eux.
Il dit, vous voulez teacher faire meilleur en éducation.
Nous les teachers nous fait meilleur à la manière de l'éducation à ces enfants. Comme ça, pour 2 semaines, nous avons ici à convaincre de travailler avec ces teachers. Nous avons pour 3 teachers avec nous espérer pour nous plus qu'on joue à passer avec nous espérer avec qu'on temps parti trop bon aujourd'hui nous avons plus qui venir plus tard comme ça nous avons bon 40 teacher qui ici on plus comme ça nous espérer ouais comment il va marcher.
Après un cyclone, une maladie qui s'est affecté nous. Chef département santé et environnement, Tazi Thomas, parle pour nous contre ça.
Après un cyclone, une maladie qu'on ventmene, leptospirosis, c'est ça, c'est maladie où ça tape si ou pas point garde. Glola pli la après un cyclone. Ou que vrai après 3 jours, glola ça commence à faire ti bassin tout partout. Ce petit bassin ça là, yo même contaminé. Yo contaminé avec cacahuète, pisawat, cacamoun même. Puis cacamoun même aussi contaminé avec toutes sortes de qualités j'aime. Il contaminé ou que ni glo ça là qui contaminé avec ça va créer chemical. Il also que contaminé avec différents bitins qui ça pitché ou en pied ou ben coupé ou.
Il dit nous ça fait.
On y pour faire certain qui on ni en plastique rubber boot. C'est pas petit rubber boot qui arrive en chivy pied ou fait certain qui rubber boot qui arrive jik en haut doit être en bas genou. OK, il arrive doit être en bas genou. So fait certain qui on new rubber boot. C'est on voiture ou même ou mettez fait certain qui rubber boot est en voiture à toutes les comme ça n'importe l'air ou venir pour ou peut-être ou aller sauver en bête en cochon en bœuf ou aller sauver ou aller démarrer ou faire quelque chose au niveau traverser glo cyclone ça bout sou an di dan voiture ou mettez bout sou avant ou aller rentrer en glo ça là parce glo là ça fait ou malade.
Division culturelle qui a continué célébration émancipation 2124. Carton Henry dit nous plie.
Vendredi passé, nous lançons 7 belles jeunes filles pour représenter différentes places en dedans Dominique pour Miss Wop Duet Nani Sala. Nous avons Massacre, Miss Bianca Thomas, qui a représenté Massacre en dedans Miss Wop Duet Nani Sala. Nous avons Sierra Andrew, qui a représenté Mon Watchet en dedans Nani Sala. Estesia Laville, qui a représenté Wana. Nous avons Heidi Elik, qui a représenté Gouambé. Nous avons Jessilia Jacob, qui a représenté Pibouche. Nous avons Treasure Anthony, qui a représenté Kenfield. Avec nous avons Ryder Louis, qui a représenté Soufouye. Pour un long temps, nous avons tenu 7 jeunes filles qui ont montré pour ça, nous qui est plus belle présentation web nationale nous en longtemps nous pas connait ça. So nous ni 7 belles jeunes filles moi souhaiter que yo nous un spectacle que nous pas jamais voir avant.
Changer nous en temps cyclone, continuer faire préparation, bonnet. Ça c'est tout à ce nouvel en créole. Non moi c'est Geno Jacob. Au revoir.
And now for the weather advisory. A high pressure system is becoming the dominant feature. This is expected to result in a gradual reduction in moisture levels across the area. Few low-level clouds moving with the wind flow are expected to result in occasional cloudy skies with a few brief showers. Slight to moderate seas can be expected in open water, with waves peaking near 7 feet during the period. And as we're in the midst of the hurricane season, it's crucial to take proactive steps to protect yourself and your family. Today's tip: take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room for high winds. It is essential to seek shelter in a designated storm shelter or in an interior room of a sturdy building, especially during periods of high winds. These rooms should ideally be away from windows and on the lowest floor as possible to minimize exposure to flying debris and potential structural damage. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.